Have you ever felt like people don't call as much or visit as often? Like you're slowly becoming invisible? Sometimes it's not what others do, it's what we say without realizing it. After 70, your words hold a quiet power. They can build bridges or build walls. They can draw people close or gently push them away. And most of the time, we don't even notice we're doing it. This video is not about blame. It's about awareness. About helping you protect the relationships you cherish. We're going to explore 6 everyday phrases many older adults say out of habit, hurt, or humility. But these words can quietly create distance between you and the people who care. And more importantly, we'll share better, warmer phrases to say instead. Ones that invite connection, love, and dignity back into your life. Let's begin. Phrase 1. Don't worry about me. You've probably said this 100 times, maybe when someone asked how you're doing or offered to help. But here's the truth. When you say, "Don't worry about me," what people hear is, "I don't want you close." They hear, "I'm not open to your love. I'd rather be alone." Let me tell you about Maria, age 74. Her daughter would call after work just to check in. Every time Maria would say, "You've got your own problems, don't worry about me." She thought she was being kind, but her daughter started feeling pushed away, like her love was a burden. Eventually, the calls became less frequent, not because she didn't care, but because she didn't feel needed anymore. Try saying this instead. "Thanks for thinking of me. It means more than you know." Or, "I'm doing okay, but I love hearing from you." You're not asking for help. You're allowing connection. And that makes all the difference. Phrase 2. I've already lived my life. It sounds like acceptance. But when you say this often, it starts to sound like you've stopped living, and that message can break hearts. James 79 said this all the time. He used to be full of ideas, opinions, and stories. But now, when his kids asked what he thought about something, he'd just shrug. I've already lived my life. It's your turn. They stopped asking, stopped sharing. Not because they didn't want him involved, but because he didn't seem to want to be. What he didn't see was how much his voice still mattered, how his thoughts still shaped the world around him. Try saying this instead. I've had my turn, yes, but I still enjoy being part of yours. Or, I'd love to see where life takes you, and maybe share a little wisdom along the way. You don't have to take center stage. Just don't fade into the background. Phrase 3. I'm just in the way. This one hurts, because it comes from a place of feeling small, like you're a burden, like your presence is a problem. But here's the truth. The people who love you don't see you that way. Take Walter, 82. His grandkids would visit and run around the house. He'd sit quietly and mutter, "I'm just in the way." And slowly, they stopped sitting near him. They stopped including him. Not because they didn't love him, but because he made it sound like he didn't want to be included. Try this instead. I may not move as fast as I used to, but I sure love being here. Or, thanks for letting me be part of the chaos. Let people know that you want to be there. Even in the background, your presence matters more than you realize. Phrase 4. Nobody listens to me anyway. This one builds walls. because it comes from feeling ignored, overlooked, dismissed. But when you say nobody listens to me, you close the door before anyone has a chance to prove you wrong. Think about Evelyn, 77. Every family dinner, she'd try to speak, but if someone interrupted, she'd go quiet. Then mutter, "Nobody listens to me anyway." It made everyone feel awkward. Like no matter what they said, she wouldn't feel heard. Eventually, people did stop trying. Not out of cruelty, but out of not knowing how to reach her. Try this instead. "Can I share something that's important to me?" Or, "I'd love to be part of this conversation too." Be clear. Be kind. Be willing to invite people in instead of shutting them out. Phrase 5. At my age, what's the point? It sounds harmless, even a little humorous. But underneath, it says something heavy. That you've given up. And that message weighs on the people who love you. Helen, 80, used to love gardening. But after a few aches and health setbacks, she stopped. When her neighbor asked if she'd plant flowers this spring, she just said, "At my age, what's the point?" The neighbor didn't ask again. But what Helen didn't realize is that the flowers weren't the point. She was the point. Her joy, her energy, her presence. Try saying this instead. "I don't have the energy I used to, but I'd love to do what I can." Or, "Let's find a way to make it easier. I still enjoy being part of things." Aging doesn't mean giving up. It means finding new ways to stay connected to what lights you up. Phrase 6. I'm fine. It doesn't matter. This phrase is often a mask, a way of hiding pain or loneliness. But when you say it too often, it tells people, "My feelings aren't important. Please don't look too closely." And that keeps love out. Roger, 75, would say this anytime someone asked how he was. "I'm fine. It doesn't matter." Even when he clearly wasn't fine. Eventually, people stopped asking. Not because they didn't care, but because he made it seem like he didn't care. Try this instead. "I've had better day, but I'm glad you asked." Or, "It's been tough, but talking helps." Let people in, even just a little. It shows trust, and trust strengthens bonds. Phrase 7, they're just being nice. This phrase may seem innocent. It often slips out after someone compliments you, helps you, or shows kindness. But here's the hidden message. You're brushing off real care. You're telling yourself and others that you don't deserve it. Mildred, 78, heard her grandson say she looked beautiful in her Sunday dress. She smiled for a second, and then said, "Oh, he's just being nice." Her grandson looked confused. He meant it. He was trying to connect. But in that moment, it felt like his words didn't matter. Over time, when compliments are always dismissed, people stop giving them. Not because they don't feel love, but because it hurts to feel like their kindness isn't believed. Try this instead. "Thank you. That means a lot." Or, "You made my day with that." Accepting kindness isn't selfish. It's receptive. It allows love to land, and love, when received, grows stronger. Phrase 8. I'll just stay out of the way. It sounds humble, like you don't want to interfere. But when repeated, it sends the message, "I don't belong here." After a while, people start believing you mean it, and you end up more alone, Not because people pushed you out, but because you stepped back too far. Let me share Anna's story. She was 80 and still sharp and sweet. At family gatherings, she'd sit quietly in the corner saying, "I'll just stay out of the way." At first, her family begged her to join in, but eventually they stopped asking. She had removed herself, and though she was loved, she became an observer in her own family. Try saying this instead. "I'd love to be part of things, just let me know where I fit in." Or, "I may not do much, but I enjoy the company." People want you with them, not around them. Your presence matters more than you think. Phrase 9. I don't want to be a bother. This one comes from a good heart. You don't want to cause trouble or add stress. But here's the hard truth. When you say this over and over, you make it harder for others to love you openly. Because love means showing up, helping, listening, being present. Every time you say, "I don't want to be a bother," you quietly close the door on someone's desire to be there for you. Let's talk about Harold. At 84, he needed help getting to doctor appointments. His neighbor offered to drive him, but Harold always said, No, I don't want to be a bother." Eventually, the neighbor stopped asking, not because he didn't care, but because Harold made it seem like helping wasn't welcome. Try this instead. "Thank you, I appreciate your offer, it means a lot." Or, "I don't like asking, but your help really helps." Letting others help is a gift to them, because people feel good when they're able to show love. Don't block that gift. Phrase 10. Nobody needs me anymore. This one cuts deep. It usually comes from a place of loss. Maybe your role as a parent, worker, or caretaker has changed. But saying "nobody needs me anymore" becomes a story that shapes your life. And it's not true. Your presence may look different, but it's still needed. People need your listening, your stories, your presence in the room. Take Gloria, 79. Her kids were grown. Her husband had passed. She told her friend, "I don't think anyone really needs me anymore." But what she didn't see was, her friend leaned on her every week for advice. Her granddaughter admired her wisdom. Her community missed her smile. She mattered more than she knew. Try saying this instead. "Sometimes I feel a little lost, but I want to be useful." Or, "I'd love to find new ways to contribute." This creates an opening, a place for love to return, a chance to discover new meaning. You don't have to be perfect with your words, but be intentional. Because every sentence you speak is a doorway, a way to invite people closer or quietly shut them out. You still have so much love to give, so much wisdom to share, so many moments worth living fully. So choose your words with kindness, toward others and toward yourself. You are not too old. You are not a burden. You do matter. And your voice, even when it's quiet, still has the power to bring people home.